Hey there, www.andrewmarkmusic.com. This will be my first video on a new playlist talking about spiritual gnosis. And I'm answering a question someone asked me about this statement. Is it paradoxical that consciousness is an illusion? And it's a good question, and there's a lot to unpack there. And I think in the West, the problem is with the word consciousness and the way we understand consciousness as it relates to our sense of self and identity, otherwise known as the ego. And this is where the problem with his question comes in. It has to do with definitional understandings. So consciousness is an illusion if we correctly define consciousness in the way it should be understood within the material universe known as prakriti in Samkhya. Within that view of the material universe, what I call the demiurgic construct, you have the lower mind. And the lower mind is dual aspect of the brain. So the lower mind, the mana, the buddhi, and our complete sense of self, the amakara, the ego, are dual aspects of the human brain. So they are one and the same thing. It's called dual aspect monism. And they are illusionary. So to answer his question under that understanding is mana, buddhi, and ahamkara illusionary? Yes, they are. They're epiphenomenon. So not an absurd contradiction at all, and not paradoxical. Where I think we need to go here is to understand Purusha. The Purusha is the supernal witness consciousness. It's true consciousness, otherwise known as Satchitananda. That is not illusion. That is not an illusion. That is not illusionary. That is just primordial reality. And it's not an absurd contradiction. It's not. So yeah, that statement doesn't make any sense if you define consciousness as Purusha. And that's what consciousness is. And according to Samkhya, what we think of consciousness in the West, our minds and our intellect and our egos, they are actually illusionary. Now, the thing is that the Samkhya school was very early on, predating the Buddhist canon. But I believe that the Buddha, should he have existed, understood Samkhya. And that understanding would have would have been a part of his assessment, his intellectual assessment of the nature of reality. And sure enough, we find within Buddhism the ideas that the ego, the mind, as we understand it in Samkhya, are illusionary. So yes, and if he was to rephrase the question, is the lower mind mana, the Biddy, and the Amakara illusionary? The answer is yes. It's a phenomenon. And is it paradoxical? No. There's no contradiction there, so it's not paradoxical. To say that Purusha is illusionary is absurd, because that's the most profound reality there is. So I hope that answers the question that he asked. And yeah, so this is just some musing on spirituality as I've come to understand it. I am a Christian Gnostic, and I refer to Prakriti, the material universe, as the demiurgic construct. And I refer to Purusha as the pleroma. So there's a lot of intersection between early Christian Gnostic thinking and the Samkhya school. Although the Samkhya school, generally speaking, was non-theistic, whereas I am a Christian Gnostic theist. So there's a lot to unpack there, but I'm not going to do it in this video. I just wanted to answer this guy's question in a way that makes sense to me. And yeah, his question was asked on a Caitlan Johnstone video where she was talking about AI consciousness and what the tech lords want to do with AI. And basically what they want to do is they want to take this illusionary experience of lower mind, which is a part of the material world, the intellect that comes with it, the biddies, and the sense of self that comes with it, the ego, which are all illusionary. And what these people want to do under AI and the singularity and the technocracy is to make their egos eternal. And that is just, it's so bizarre what they want to do according to Samkhya. Again, there's so much to unpack on that. I'm not going to do it here, but it's just absolutely bizarre, and it's all premised on just nearly a complete misunderstanding of reality, if the Samkhya school is correct. The thing is, though, and I said this on her video, is that because of the nature of Prakriti, the nature of this material universe, and how the lower mind is instantiated within it, so dual aspect monism, is that what they're trying to do, I think, would be achievable. But is it wise? It's probably the most unwise thing anybody could do at any time. But again, achievable. Really bizarre times. Anyway, www.andrewmartinmusic.com. I'm out of here for now.
Desire